Hey pup, what are we doing today? We're gonna work on the motorcycle? Yeah, all right. So I'm having a little trouble here with my starter. Turn on, listen. It just wants to keep spinning like that. So this is a new coil, newer. It's the last thing that was new on the bike, I believe, from the previous owner. And these things are known to have issues like this. Sometimes some people say it's the wires are too thin, they need to be thicker. But right now I think it wore out my starter clutch in here. So I'm gonna tear this apart. I already drained the oil. There wasn't very much in there, so I'm not real sure about that. But I'm gonna go ahead and try and take all this apart, see what happens. All right. Okay, so here, all these bolts around here we got to take off. Most people will take off these inspection covers first. Not sure really why they would do that, but I guess, you know, just to make sure everything comes apart. But take these bolts out, I think they're all different sizes, a couple of them are. So I just drew this basic diagram so I can put all my bolts in that same place. There's the oil one, and I'll just kind of go around from there and see what happens. Let's see, I already loosened some of these. Wish I had a jack. I had a old school jack, but it wouldn't work. These kickstands are in a weird place on these FXRs. I actually want to change it because that one gives me quite a bit of a gangster lean. There's some kind of tab under here that may have broken off. When I put on these new forward controls, they actually got the 4 holes in them. So I may try and get into a like a big twin kickstand. Once again, I am not a mechanic of any kind, so these are all learning as I go, mostly because I can't afford to pay nobody else. I gotta try and figure it out myself. Or I'm just weak. I'm getting old. Over there. I may even buy new ones of these, just in case, because they kind of, like they might have been taken off a couple times. Yeah, I think that's all of my bolts you'll see here. Just got them put in here so I know exactly where they go. Or if I buy new ones, I can match them up and I know what's what. See if this thing will come over here. There's something else holding it down. usually why they have these, so we can pry them off, get them off there somehow. Thanks. Get something to pry that off. Alright, I got all them bolts out of there, but I still can't get it off. It's really sealed on there. So I'm going to try and pull these off, and maybe that'll give me something to pull onto, hopefully. As far as I can tell, it's just these bolts that hold down there, unless I'm missing something. They're very tight. Oh, very loose. Come on, where you go? Don't let me work on your bike. Side where I won't lose it. Scratch it up. Is there another bolt I'm missing? Tight at all. Guess they don't have to be. There's not much comes out of them. Smells good. I know this is a 1987, so it doesn't have a speedometer. It had a speedometer, but it was broke ever since my cousin, the previous owner, had it. And he had it for like 18 years. So I don't know how many miles are on it, but I know the guy originally had it. He bought it in Daytona, Florida, for a bike week. He lived in Arizona for a while. He rode it back and forth to Sturgis, some other stuff. So then my cousin, like I said, had it for 18 years. He rode the heck out of it. He actually had some work done to it. Like the top end has been rebuilt, new valves, things like that. There's supposedly a cam in here. I don't know what kind. Again, don't let me work on your bike. Yeah. It'd be easier if it was up on a stand or something where I can actually see what I'm doing. What's really on there? Nothing. On there. You have to get the hammer out or something. Jeez. Oh. Just fall right out of there. Oh. use some sealers. I'm missing something. The bolts are over there. All right. Oh, mud dummy. There's one right here. I was looking all around the outside here. It'll just fall right off right there. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. What's going here? This off to the side. Alright, so I just finally get it off. I'm gonna kind of do a little bit of an inspection here, just looking around for things, looking for any kind of chunks of metal, anything that's not a good sign of anything. This is the part that I'm trying to replace. That looks way too loose, yeah? Look at that. I didn't hear it flapping or nothing, but man, I think it's only supposed to move like a chain width apart, maybe. The link, maybe a little bit more, but that seems excessive. Chain tensioner don't look bad down here, which is good. Usually those are kind of messed up. Man, look at that. I don't know, I'll have to check the requirements for that, but that looks like it's hitting up here at the top. Kind of felt like my clutch was slipping. Maybe that's something that was affecting it. I just want to check this gear here before I disconnect the battery and everything. You definitely shouldn't be playing with any of this kind of starter stuff here with the battery and everything plugged in, because you never know. I just want to see it's kicking out. It's not turning at all. I'm hoping that's it. It doesn't look like it's going back in like it's supposed to either. Right, I'm gonna disconnect the battery and a few other things, and then we'll come back on the camera. All right, so looks like I'm gonna have to take this top cover off. I already took this bolt off right here. This like chrome little cover, just decorative, doesn't do anything. But it looks like it's hooked on back here by one and two bolts, another one over here. That go on to the coil as well. Try and take them off next. So this is why I had to take that cover off. There's a bolt right here that will help take apart this. There's a pin in here, some other things. This has to move. I'm not sure the order. I don't know what I'm going to do first. Maybe this, and then I'll tear that apart. I'm not sure. I gotta look at it a little bit better, because this spring, this stuff here is gonna end up popping out. This whole fork right here is gonna pop out. And then hopefully that, once I get this bolt loose here, which I think is a reverse thread, I'm not positive. Then I can hopefully pull that off and replace with a new one. I also wanted to show you, I almost forgot, that this thing is supposed to turn this way, which it does, fairly easy. And then this way, it is not supposed to turn, but it does. It's a little catchy right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pull this out a little bit, see if I can put some pressure, get it between there, so this will actually hold, so I can undo that bolt there, or something so to jam that up, because I believe this is a reverse thread. I got to find out for sure, but I'm almost positive. And then I can take this bolt up here out, which I think is a 1/4 inch, Allen, and then this thing should come off. All that stuff should start coming out of there. So, I'm gonna see what I can get to get this thing out here, and then we'll see what we can do. Okay, I think I actually got this. Oh, I can show you what I did. Instead of putting the vice grips on this part here, which is real smooth, almost like a bearing, there's another little lip here that was a little rougher, so I thought, oh, maybe it'll catch on that, which it did, and I was able to break it loose. It is a right-hand thread, of course. And I'll just take all this apart. Hopefully that gear will come out. Don't lose that. All right. Get this fucker back up out. Oops, not supposed to swear, huh? Now what? There's this little piece. Just slides on there. There's nothing holds it on there. Okay. Gotta figure out how to get this out. What happens? This outer part is now sticking in here, getting the clutch. Maybe that's why I gotta take the fork and stuff out so it'll move up a little more. I'm not sure. I could either take this off, or maybe take the starter, loosen it up so I can get this at an angle maybe. And this thing ain't got nothing to do with anything in there. That thing's supposed to come on a bit more. Right, I'm gonna mess around with this a little bit more, and then I'll show you if I can make any progress. Alright, so I gotta take the starter off instead of pulling the clutch to get this thing on there. There's two bolts back in here. Hopefully you can see them. One right there, and I think there's one, where is it? Right there. See it back there? So I gotta try and reach those two. I'm gonna try and just loosen it up as much as possible and see what happens. All right. Okay, so I got those two bolts loose back there. Like I said, I'm taking them out. I'm just loosening them so I can slide the starter back a little bit, and hopefully I can get enough room. But it looks like I might have to take this big bolt here, which is a 9/16, I believe. Those others are like a 1/4 inch back there. I'm gonna try and take this apart off there, and then hopefully the starter will pull back a little bit. Okay, so I got that bolt off. Hopefully this thing will slide out a little bit. Oh yeah, it's loose now. It might be stuck on the actual gear, or it could be stuck on those bolts. Might have to come out a little more. I'm not sure. I'm gonna mess with it here a little bit, and then see what it looks like on the other side. All right, so I have that starter on the other side. It's pretty much almost all the way out. I don't even know if you can see in there. You can see that gear on the starter there. It's pretty much close to being out, so should be fun putting all back together. But right now I'm gonna focus on this thing, of course. Closer. All right. See that here. And I think this pulley comes over here or something, because I think that has to go on the new one. I don't know exactly how to do that. Oh, there looks like there's a C pin right in there. So I have to get something to get that out of there. All right, so there's the old one. I got that piece off, had that cotter pin in there. I put the wheel back on this new one. This is an all balls, the new one, which that's what the starter is. But it looks considerably bigger than the old one. So I hope that means it's got like bigger, I think these got like little balls inside here that stop it from moving one way. It only can move this way, but not back the other way. So I'm gonna try and put that all back on. I have to go back further. All right, so that's in there. I am going to try and bolt the starter back in and get this out where everything is supposed to be and lined up. Let's see. A few minutes here to figure that out. All right, so I got this in there. Put the fork back in. Put this pin in here a little bit to hold it in. I still got to get this. I took the spring off of here, and there's a little tiny pin that goes right inside this hole once you put that spring on there. Let's see if I can show you that. That's that little pin. And that'll go in there once the spring goes on. And that'll should hold everything together, and I can push that back down. We hopefully are going to be set. Pin, where'd you go? Let's think of the hard part, getting that little pin in there. Dropping it or losing it. Home. All right. That should be how it goes. Once that coil hits, it pushes that in, pushes this out, pushes it back in. Like that. The fork pushes your clutch onto there. And that's what actually turns everything, from what I understand. I'll put this back in all the way. I want to make sure it's down inside there, which it is. Touching like that, that don't seem right. It slides in there like it's supposed to. I'm worried it ain't going back far enough. There we go. That's how it should be there. Okay. Right. There's that little bolt up here that I got to put back in on the top, and then I can maybe put the case back on, leave that just there. Have to put these nuts back on here. All right. That would be this guy. I don't know how far it's supposed to go on there. There's a little edge in there, so it can only go so far. And then there's going to be a little copper ring inside the cover, and that'll hold up this part inside there. It keeps everything like solid, so it doesn't move around all wiggly. All right. And this was reverse thread. It was a 5/8. I want it to come out. It won't. There we go. Hopefully, gotta give it enough tightness. All right, I'm gonna have to get them in here again. See if I can get this bolt tightened up a little bit more, because it's just spinning at the moment. Let's see, we want to go. Hopefully. I'll grab onto gear as well. Let me tighten it. Oh, it's going to move the whole inside starter. There it goes. Push the gear in kind of helps. I'm sure there's some kind of torque for this thing, but I'm just gonna guesstimate. Oh, it feels pretty tight. Oh. Of course, we'll find out when I go down the road and this fucker falls off and messes everything up. There I go swearing again, dang it. All right. I said this is good. I thought it was kind of loose, but I said as long as it's not slapping in the case, which it was not, I guess that's going to be good. Okay. That should work. And I can put everything back together. I don't know if you guys want to watch all that. Since you already kind of seen me take it off, you kind of know how it goes back on, right? All right. finished that job there. I can't believe you guys are still here. If you made it to the end, I don't know, you need a cookie or something. I still got issues with the bike starting. It'll start, it gets to temperature, and then it'll just start cutting out. Like, it's got to be electrical. First I thought it was the carburetor, but that's why I kept hitting the button, and that's what it ended up messing up my starter clutch in there. So now I believe it's actually the cone on the inside, the ignition system. I checked the coil, things like that, so that's all good. But the one inside the cone here, this piece here, and then there's actually like a Screaming Eagle thing underneath there. One of those is messed up, so I'm trying in the process looking for those to order. I found an Ultima, which is brand new in the box from somebody on like a Facebook type thing. So hopefully that'll go through and I can get that, and that'll be my next video, I guess. All right. Like I said, if you guys made it here, what is wrong with you? All right. Y'all, peace.